to see if things are working well. I'm using Restream this time to log in and just see if things are working here. So I'll just be checking in. If there is a live video which is started, I think it has. So I'll just share the link while some viewers join in. How to do that? Okay, I think it'll be here. All right, I'll forward this in the group. Not sure if you guys can hear me. If there are some viewers here in the stream, please drop in the chat so that I can get to know if you can hear me well, if my video is working fine. And I'm just trying to see the shareable link for a restream. I've been using OBS before this, so it was quite simple, but I wanted to give myself a challenge and just check out a new software. Join me here. I just posted on my WhatsApp groups. And let me see if things are working. So I'm here. Okay. Muber, are you here as well? Thank you for the thumbs up. All right. Muber, you can hear me well as well, right? You're able to hear my voice and the video is also working fine. Okay. So I'll begin. Folks, welcome. My name is Zen again for all of you who don't know about me. I've been, working in the Celpip field for some almost a year now, a very short duration, but I've learned and I've been able to train a lot of people who want to appear in, especially for the Canadian PR who are struggling around the language work. So I've been helping dozens of people. I've been very successful in getting them through their desired scores, and I do this part time. And I just wanted to come by here, talk to you folks, know a little more about your questions, especially for new people who are not able to get in the classes or sessions. This is like a free alternative for them to ask any questions that they have in regards to Celpip. So if there is anything, please feel free to post in the chat window. I think the chat window is also being shared, and I'll try to answer as many questions as you can. But in the meanwhile, the questions drop in. I wanted to have a quick understanding of what exactly, in terms of when it comes to Celpip and why people really struggle with, let's say, a score of 8 and are not able to achieve 9, which is an advanced level of CLB. Most of the students who come by to me for trainings, folks, are good in English. They're not bad in English. I mean, English is not either their first language, but they've been reading or listening or speaking or writing English since long. So the major disadvantage for them is that they're not doing the right stuff. Okay, they're putting in the efforts. They're trying to answer the questions in the way they think is best, but the question itself is different. So mostly in my sessions as well, if you read and you apply common sense, that is the number one trick here, that common sense solves the problem. Okay, if you're just reading through the question in an appropriate manner, that is the right way to move ahead on when it comes to Celpip. So it's not a very difficult examination. 8 and 9, the major difference again is just comprehending the information correctly. So you're reading the question well. Everybody knows in public there are 4 parameters, right? But if you come down to sessions, I will give you checklists as well, 10-pointer checklists that give you an understanding of what exactly the rater's psyche is, what exactly the rater is really looking out for. And if you can know that, that is how you can achieve. And it works with practice. So that is a very, very important aspect of this. Not to forget, the practice can be either on your own or can be with somebody who's specialized in this field, me, and there are many other instructors like me in this field. I have a certification from Paragon. A couple of instructors also have certification from Paragon. You must check. You can do it yourself as well. So my first promotion always to help you understand is your own potential. You don't really need a guide unless you really need it. Okay. So if you're planning to do it in yourself, that is still a good way. But just be cautious that you must have a time buffer. You must have that preparation time, which can be done with, let's say, an instructor in 1 month. You might take 3 months to do it yourself. So if you have that time distribution available for yourself, feel free, get in yourself, start practicing. There is a lot of material. If you guys are part of my WhatsApp group, there is a Google Drive link. If you're in my Facebook group, there's another link that I've shared. So in totality, Celpip does suffer with less material, but we're trying to bridge the gap. Okay, 2 years back it was even worse. Now it's still better. So the official sets, by the way, are the right method for you to go ahead. So this is the second step when it comes to practice material. You must have access to the official Paragon sets, which is set 1 to set 7, which includes around 42 hours of self practice that you can do yourself. The advantage of using a software is that your listening and your reading gets evaluated simultaneously while you've attempted your response. So you get to know a good tentative idea of what you're scoring. Speaking and writing is a different game. It's a productive game. In speaking, each task has their own specific requirements. So for example, if you're given an advice versus given sharing your personal experience versus describing an image versus making a future prediction, they will have different parameters. But all the 8 tasks in totality require you to have kind of a structure, which is a good start, a nice body, which is an idea plus example. So you either talk about one idea if you're quick in speech, you talk about two ideas if you have more time to cover, and initially at the last point, a nice end as well, which is like a conclusive statement for whatever you've been talking about, in terms of the task. Speaking in Celpip, many times people say is tough. Um, I think it is not tough. It is just different than IELTS. In IELTS, you have a person, a physical human character who really is looking at your body language, who's looking at all the different gestures that you're making. If you're shy, if you're anxious, they get to know through the body language too. Here in Celpip, that barrier is boom, it's gone. So there's no such thing that a person will be looking at you. It's just your speech. If you're able to convey it in a nice and appropriate manner, then you're solving what really the reader would be looking out for. So that's an advantage, as well as for some people it's a disadvantage. So while you're trying to make a choice between IELTS versus Celpip, be responsible and choose the one which you think works for you. When it comes to Celpip, why majorly people choose, maybe Mubera, you would agree to this. We were talking in the session as well, that writing is easier when it comes to Celpip, because there's an email and there is a survey that you have to participate in, unlike writing um, paragraphs after paragraphs, which is in the in the IELTS test. And in IELTS, the accents also are different. So you will have not just a North American accent, which is the Celpip's prime focus, prima facie, but there are also accents like Australian, British English, and so many other accents that come in. So, well, everything has a disadvantage and advantage in life. I'm not going to say that Celpip is the best examination. Yes, it is the best if it suits you. If it doesn't suit you, go for an alternate one. Don't waste your time. Ideally, if you're stuck, there are many resources that you can go for. YouTube is one of them. You can groups on Facebook. Now there are 2 WhatsApp groups that we are running. So in totality, this is, when it comes to comparison of Celpip versus IELTS, these are the major differences. Okay, when it comes to your listening and reading, it is quite similar, although the task and the orientation is different. But in terms of the how the stuff works is quite same. Also, one major difference that I also see, when it comes to Celpip and IELTS, is that in Celpip, if people are in writing, especially if people are struggling in IELTS, they're able to achieve easily 9+ in Celpip. So if that is you, maybe choose Celpip. If that is not you, you can go for an alternate IELTS as well. IELTS is an older test than Celpip. Celpip is new. Okay, so the material and the instructors and the kind of background information which is available on the test is limited as well. But now I think it's quite taking up in India as well, where I am live streaming from right now. There are three centers. Initially there was just one center based in Chandigarh. So if anybody had to give a different test as an alternate to IELTS, they had to go all the way to Chandigarh. Now this is in Ahmedabad, it's in Delhi, and I've heard they're planning two more in India, because it's a huge population they're catering. Indians are moving to Canada all across, right? So many Indians in the world anyway. So Mubera, you said me my pet peeve about IELTS is challenging writing task two. Yes, Mubera, I agree with you. Writing task two, as we were discussing in our session as well, that this is the major advantage, Mubera, when it comes to Celpip. So you follow the checklist. For example, Mubera can give a better idea in this, but when we work with students, what we do is, and ideally what I have realized is that it takes approximately 10 to 12 corrections, even if you are on intermediate level of your English, for you to go on the advanced level of English. So if you're struggling with your writing marks and you're wondering what to do, and you're like, shit, this is so important and I don't know what to do. You've attempted test multiple times and you still are unsure about what could be the right approach for you. I would say give Celpip a chance and follow a strategic implementation there. So get yourself mm, evaluated, and from some instructor or from somebody who's good in English, and that would solve the purpose for you. That would solve the Okay, this is another message. Can you check the message on the group, because some people say they can't hear you? Mubari, you can hear me well, right? Just type in yes so that I know if my sound was working. I did check once, but I'll check the group too. um, if you have time. Yeah, I can see Chamanpreet responding there. Kriti is saying, I'm joining from my phone but not sure why I can't hear anything. I guess we need desktop in order to attend this. I'm using my phone. Okay, so I think it's the phone users who are. Mubari, you are through your laptop desktop, or you're also through your phone? Because that will give me a very clear idea. Ideally, these platforms, I'm joining through iPad. Okay, so you're through your iPad. Uh, Let me just quickly see in terms of settings. I've kept everything open. Maybe for the people who are through phone and who are not able to hear me, just refresh once. Restream sometimes have this problem of packets, so although it's my first time with Restream, but I've some of my friends have been using it in the past. Just try if that works. People here can hear. I think we have around 7 people on this, mostly from YouTube. And I've simultaneously trying to restream this on my Facebook profile as well. So it'll be there too. These softwares are making our life easy. I have been using OBS, and OBS was one software which is very complicated. I don't know if how many people have used it, but it's a very complicated software. Anyway, we'll stick around to our subject. I have joined via phone, able to hear. Anand, welcome, buddy. So you clearing the doubt, Anand. This is what I was thinking. Is it just certain people or is it the device? So if Anand is able to join through his iPhone and able to hear me, that means it's working in accordance. I'll just drop in the message in the group. Yeah, I'm not able to listen. Chamanpreet, if you're here, buddy, I'm trying to see if I can get tag you here. Chamanpreet is there. Kriti is there. Don't have the numbers, so I'll not be able to tag anyone. But anyway, whether suggest you go to YouTube channel. Yes. Mubera, thank you for typing in there and helping me with this. This is what I was planning to type. Join in through my YouTube. Maybe I'll share the link there again. Uh, I'll share my channel link with you guys there so that it's simpler to find me and hear the stream. So I want you guys to participate in, ask me more questions around this, and here is the YouTube link for my channel. Okay. So Vishal has also posted in, buddy, is this the channel link or is this the stream link? All right, perfect. So you've done a better work here. Vishal, what's up? Are you here as well? If you're here, feel free to drop in, ask your questions, and let's begin with this live stream. Stop it here. All right. Let me change the screen. Yes. Perfect, folks. So I think now we have more people joining in. We've shared it on the group. YouTube is a better way, that means. I think the Restream link might not be perfect. I have no idea how Restream works. It's my first time. And Chamanpreet, we've got a message as well. Oh, yes, Chamanpreet, I remember having a talk with you before as well. Yes. What's up? How are you doing today? Ask me anything regarding Celpip. This is why I'm here. So whatever doubts you have, any questions in specific, any specific task related question as well, feel free to type in. I'll try to answer it for you, in the next 15, 20, 30 minutes that we have together. And folks, in terms of what I wanted to tell you, while again, if there is any questions, they'll drop in. But Celpip versus IELTS, okay, keep it very simple. I think if people who are joining in late can, listen to the stream later, it will be uploaded on my channel. So you can understand majority what is the differentiation point of view, from a differentiation point of view. But if you really want to get from 8 to 9, so coming back to our earlier topic, 8 to 9, so in terms of 8 to 9, you just have to ensure you're keeping the four parameters in mind, which is content coherence, your lexical understanding, which is also known as vocabulary, your listenability or your readability factor, which changes from speaking versus writing, and last is task fulfillment. So many times in task fulfillment, things get stuck. For example, the last two sessions that I was having before this stream, task fulfillment was the issue. Okay, so it was not people not able to speak well or not able to write well. It was they're not adhering to one of the, let's say, the quarter most important part of the rating parameter. So don't do it. If you will do it in in even in three tasks or four tasks out of eight, you will be stuck around with eight, in terms of your score. Don't do it. Also, in terms of rating, I don't know how many know this, but of course, people who are in my batches, I'm sure I've mentioned this to you, so it might be repetitive. But for new people who are here in this stream, when it comes to rating, folks, so writing or speaking, what happens is there are at least two evaluators who will take care of your task. So if it's speaking, it will be 4 plus 4. Four tasks will go to one rater, the other four will go to the other rater. Cumulative marks are calculated. If for example, both are in agreement, that's your final CLB as an average. If they are not in agreement, then it helps, it goes to the other level where another expert evaluator will jump in. They will, that will be like kind of a judge, for your response in totality. If that is the case, if that is not the case, then whatever this average comes out, that's your score. So let me start by answering a couple of questions that I can see. Wisdom Pearl, hello, Wisdom Pearl. I didn't receive your messages before this, so I think I've started receiving your messages for sure. So ask me anything, what doubts you have regarding Celpip, and if you're planning to immigrate to Canada, then this might be a good idea for you. Chamanpreet, two students got CLB 9. Yes, so CLB 9 is how I started this session, Chamanpreet. It is not that difficult. You have to adhere to the major four parameters in terms of ratings, which are considered. Okay, so if you're self practicing and trying to do it yourself, just ensure you're recording yourself in speaking, listening to your recordings. Okay, in writing, you should have somebody, some kind of expert who can get this done for you. It's not a very expensive job. So ideally, for example, even in for writing evaluations, it's just $5 per evaluation. So if you're going for 12 evaluations, it will be $60. If you want it from me, you can get it done from anybody else as well. If you have a better alternate, you can get it done from somebody in your family, in your known, who's good with English as well. they can give you a good idea. Softwares like Grammarly do work well when it comes to understanding your writing mistakes, but they're not foolproof. Okay, what I mean to say by that, there are very high probabilities that even after getting it completely checked from Grammarly, your idea is not appropriate, or your task fulfillment is not matching, or XYZ, your vocabulary is not up to the mark and stuff. That, Chamanpreet, is needed in order to achieve a higher level. Okay. Most of my students who I work with them for advanced level. I have around a dozen of students who don't want an advanced level. They've been struggling with very basic levels. For them, their target is 7. So there, my approach is different. For you, if you want to go for 9, I would advise you, Chamanpreet, to summarize it, that writing, get yourself evaluated 10, 12 times. In speaking, either practice in groups. You have you're a part of my WhatsApp group as well. You can create a small group there, a study group kind, which you can practice with them. If not, you can join in classes. If not, you can at least do your own recordings and listen to your recordings and try to identify the basic gaps that you do in terms of fulfillment. Okay, each task, Chamanpreet, in speaking has separate things which have to be fulfilled in order to achieve 9. So if you have anything in specific from that, ask me, Chamanpreet. I'll answer it for you. My exam is on upcoming Sunday, and I'm working. Yes, Mubera, I would wait for you to complete the exam, and Mubera would also be shifting her country, so she'll be leaving back to her hometown, which is in Turkey. Um, so you will get, Mubera. Just put in the practice hours, okay, and just ensure you're putting the right stuff. We are working together. We will solve it. I'll see you tomorrow as well, and day after as well. Until your exam date is there, we will work constantly to ensure that you're able to get it. Okay. And Chamanpreet, let's improve my writing first, and I will send it for evaluation. All right, that's cool. Chamanpreet, you can share down your writing responses. I'll help you evaluate them. But do understand 10 to 12. Okay, so that means you have to put in 10 to 12 hours of practice in there as well. It's key, it's important. And if you do it in the appropriate manner, it will not be very, very tough for you. Just do it. Just write. Writing improves with writing, speaking improves with speaking. Okay. Wisdom poll regarding the fee for private sessions. So my fee right now that I'm charging from a discounted rate of $450 to $399 for private sessions. So which includes all the 4 parts, wisdom, for your listening, speaking, writing, and reading. All the 4 parts included. If you're going to go part by part, that's possible. But presently, because of the bandwidth, I'm not taking any part batches anymore. Both the batches are full. So private sessions is the way. It's $399 to let you know the fee. All right, so we move on the next stuff. I would suggest working with someone. Yes, Mubera, you're there in Canada already, Mubera. So even if your environment matters, for example, what I want to say, Mubera, reading your comment that, for example, if a person is based in India, they will not be interacting with their neighbors or with their, at the grocery shop with people who speak in fluent English. If that is not the case, if you're there in Canada, then self-study gets easy, right? But if that is not the case, if you're in another country apart from an English speaking country, it's quite tough. And because I'm a non-native speaker as well, I understand your difficulties as non-native speakers too. But it's not that tough. It just requires you to put in the right amount of practice hours, and everybody can do it. So yeah. However, they're able to correct only my grammar mistakes, word choices. Yes, so this is what you're mentioning, Mubera, I guess, regarding Grammarly, right? So yes, you will kill it this time, I'm sure. And we will wait for your message on the group as well, once your score is released. Because 9 would not be tough for you. You're putting the right, you're putting in practice, I think, this time, compared to the last 2 attempts that you made. So yeah, we'll wait and let time speak more on this. And Maya, we have a question from you. This is my third time writing Celpip. I got 8 in writing all these times. How can I get 9? And can you say me more about your course? So Maya, firstly, welcome. See, you've been trying pretty hard. I guess it's your third time already. You've already given the test. Buddy, why you're getting your 8 or not 9? Majorly, it will be one of the four parameters or something in the checklist. Okay, so Celpip, when you try to understand, and is it just your writing or is it also your speaking? By the way, if you can just type in Maya and let me know if you're able to get through your speaking, then I'll try to help you just with writing in this session itself. But Maya, to if you were listening to my conversation a little before, just 10 minutes before now, why people struggle in writing and why not they're not able to get it through is because it requires you to do more writing practice. Okay, so number one, how I begin my sessions is you starting to write just a short paragraph. Let's say 2 3 new words that you learn and you construct a paragraph around it. So many of my past students have been doing that on a constant base every day for the next 15 days. So that helps them in structuring a paragraph. If you can, the logic is, Maya, that if you're able to structure one good paragraph in writing, you can write anything. It can be an email, it can be a survey, it can be xyz, anything, right? But in terms of Celpip, 9, when it comes, you have to ensure your task fulfillment, your vocabulary, okay, your readability factor, and your fulfillment. All these four major parameters are intact. If that is not happening, I think this is why you're struggling with the 8 versus 9, right? So speaking and writing, okay, so you've mentioned it, speaking and writing both, right? My This is productive skills. I would suggest you to join any of my batches. You've already given 3 attempts to it. I will solve it out for you in 12 weeks for speaking, 12 to 15 corrections for writing. I've been doing that for dozens of students. It's working. And I also attempted, Celpip before, starting my coaching as well. I was able to achieve much more than what I was looking for. Okay. So this is why I got into it. The sessions about my course, the charges are $399. The number of hours that we put in is 10 to 12 hours. Plus you get an additional 12 sessions for speaking apart from what I mentioned. So that's a benefit if you want to subscribe to the whole course. The benefit is that you have 12 speaking sessions. We keep the speaking sessions in 2 batches. The first batch that we are running is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The other is Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays at 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time. So if you're in Canada, if you're in India, the timing will suit you. But 3 sessions each week for speaking, 10 to 12 corrections in writing. Plus, we also hold writing theory sessions. So 1 to 2 hours is all it takes for me to equip you with the kind of theoretical knowledge you need for Celpip writing. And then we work on both these for the duration of 4 weeks and solve it out. So your exam is 30th. 30th Jan is too near, Maya. I would suggest that if you have given your test 3 times, just be a little more patient with yourself this time, okay? Give yourself another 1 or 2 weeks of extension, join in the course, and I will ensure that whatever you're looking for in terms of 9, you will be able to get it through, okay? But if you're not going to give me enough time, I will not be able to do anything through, Maya. So you can ping me later on WhatsApp. We can have a talk. And 30th is too near, so I would not recommend you to join the course in a rush. Give me at least 4 weeks for speaking. This doesn't change very quick. I have worked with students, by the way, Maya. Uzair, if I don't know if he's in the live stream today or not, but Uzair, I worked with him, I guess. Uzair, if you're here, just jump in and let me know what exact number of days it was. But I think it was just around 10 days or so, maybe lesser, not sure. But see, if you're working in lesser number of days, the problem is, Maya, that I will not be able to see. This is your own reception, your own production, right? Your own skills. It's skill that I'm teaching you. Language, yes, it's English language that I'm teaching you, but it's a skill. Language is a skill. So it takes time. And as per my experience, I would suggest you, Maya, to postpone your exam maybe 1 or 2 more weeks from the date. If you have that possible extension possible, join in. We'll sort it out for you. Okay. And I'll move to the next question from Wisdom Pearls. And I got 6 and 9. How do I get more than that? Wisdom Pearl, you need to let me know which module did you get 6 and 9. I'm assuming it might be writing and speaking, but if you can confirm, I'll answer your question. Okay, I'll go next. We have Gaur Prakash here as well. First time listening you and getting motivated. Question on writing email. Is it always good to start with dear sir, madam, or should we begin with being more specific, such as internet provider? God Prakash, welcome, buddy. Firstly, I'm glad that you've put in a very logical question. Okay, so when it comes to structuring, your question, buddy, is regarding structuring of emails. How I would tell you and how I would explain it to you is just you should remember a cat. Okay, cat has various part. It has a head, it has ears, it has a nose, it has mouth, it has body, it has tail, it has legs. This is what an email structure is as well. Okay, you should ideally, yes, start with it depends on the context of what you're writing, god. Okay, so if you're writing a formal email, you can stick around with dear sir, respected madam, stuff like that. If you're writing more casual or a semi casual email, you can even say hey Zen, hey god prakash. Okay, so it changes from context to context. The social context would matter here. I don't know what question you're exactly in reference to. In god prakash, also to clear the air and to also let the other participants of this live session know, you will be in shock to know that there is no real structure when it comes to even writing. It has to be all on in your natural progression. Okay, so if you're able to, what I mean to say is, yes, there are small internal structures, but on the totality, on the bigger picture, there are no rules. In writing as well, there are no rules. You can mold your speech, you can mold your sentence and change it and adapt it to a way which suits. So English is like that. This is a skill. This is, makes me come back to the earlier point that I was mentioning, that this is a skill. And if you're really wanting to know god prakash the correct way, it would depend on the context of the question. Okay, but ideally, you can have dear and the name as well. That works. Mostly in Celpip it's semi casual. Sometimes it's formal, but mostly it's semi casual. Okay, I'll go next. Any good channel or stuff to improve listening? Chamanpreet, have you finished the official sets? Number one, have you completed the practice set 1 to 7? If you have, let me know in the comment. If you have done that already, then what you can probably do is that there is 4 modules that I've tried tested out. A lot of students are recommending Australian Academy. I haven't used that software personally. I don't know. 4 modules I have. I've met their team too. They work with quality stuff. In 4 modules, the only intervention that I will make is that go for an hard question. Don't buy the sets which are easy. You can get to choose in listening if you want additional material. And Chamanpreet, it will be good to have some kind of software to drive through your listening and reading, because you will get to know your marks after it. Also, there is this CLB OSA website. I can actually search it, and I'll post it for you, Chamanpreet, and the others as well. It's free, but it's not exactly how Celpip test is. So it's a Canadian website holded by the government to check out your official standards and your official language mark, but it is not exactly how a Celpip test would be, Chamanpreet. Okay, so I'm posting it here for you. You can go through this link at your ease later. You have to create an account on this in order to access this test. You will get, I think, 2 listening and 4 reading test, if I'm correct. But you can log in and check all that information. It's advisable, if you've finished your official sets, then go for 4 modules or Australian Academy. Okay, but go for something like a course, because sorry, a software, because otherwise, if you're not through a software, you will not get to know your evaluation, your marks on it. Okay, it's important. So we move next. Maya, perfect. I look forward, buddy. Wisdom Pearl, I have a team which is working with me. 2 3 people who are helping me mostly with the writing part. In speaking, I cater it alone, and I'm doing this part time. And in terms of my team strength, we are 3 people who are basically working mostly on the writing parts together. See, I'm managing Reese team and all myself. I would want to have a manager very soon, but still trying to get there. Okay. Chamanpreet, no, I didn't practice all the 7 sets, but I used for Celpip starter test. Thank you for posting that link. All right, Chamanpreet. So that's what you should be doing, buddy. Go for. There was a discount initially from 6th to 8th. If you were on the group, you must have got a notification. So you can share that with somebody, some other test taker. If you're not able to find any test taker, ping me. I'll put you in direct touch with somebody else. You can share the credentials, or you can buy it yourself if you're wanting to do it yourself too. But do practice, Chamanpreet. That's what's the most important thing here. Without practicing, and without just one starter set, you will not be able to get through in the logic, even if you're really an advanced level listener. Okay, so put in it enough time, and it's not tough, but yes, it requires practice. And practice is all it takes. So perfect. If there are any more questions flowing in, I'll be very happy to answer for the next 5 minutes. Else, we can close this stream, and I'll be back. I'll try to do more live, people. I used to do more lives around the summer season, but mostly because of the work, part-time trading, and all the, and also part-time, instructing students for Celpip. My time bandwidth has gone very tough to manage, so I'm trying to juggle my work-life balance. And but I'll do more lives. I really like to interact with people, and I like to help you out in the best ways I can. Sessions is not the only way. If you have questions, and if you need specific help, live streams help a lot. I've noticed it. So small things, if they can make a big impact for people, why don't do it? We are on that stage of life. We're mature enough to know which is good, which is right, which is not right for us. So I'll do more lives. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. I think if there are no questions in here, it's almost been 40 minutes now. I planned it for 30 minutes, but I'll try to do more of these 30-minute live sessions in the coming week as well. In the next week, probably on Monday, not Tuesday, in the starting of the next week. Or I'll try to decide a schedule, and I'll keep you guys posted on my groups and all the other information portals that I have. So thank you, everybody, for all that, for all the people who were here. And I hope I was able to at least solve some issues for at least one person. That's my intention with every live stream that I do. One person who I can genuinely help with, I would feel blessed in my own ways. So thank you for all the viewers. Thank you for everybody for putting in your trust in here. And to summarize all this for you folks, this is not tough, this is easy. Okay, just put in practice, run, but run in the right direction. And if you're running in the right direction, you will be able to reach your desired level, and I would say achieve your exceed your expectations there. So good luck, folks. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good time and take care. This is Zen saying goodbye. Bye.